Dimensions. By now, you should already know how to add a few objects to model space, how to change layers, change some properties, move and edit things around. And you should be familiar with paper space and how to create viewports. We're going to cover how to add dimensions to a drawing, some of the common mistakes that people make, how to manage dimension styles, and a little word of caution. Now you can see that we've got 3 different views with 3 different scales. We're going to move over to the Annotate tab, and we're going to add a new layer just for the dimensions. This is good practice. It helps keep things tidy and neat and helps you see what you're doing. Going to set that as the current layer. And we're going to launch this dim command. Now, the dim command automatically detects the type of dimension that you need, theoretically, but it's not that reliable. So you may want to sort of manually input the type of dimension that you want. And to do that, just use the drop down and then pick the specific dimension type. You can edit them by just grabbing the grip point and repositioning as you like. Don't worry too much about making this make sense. Just get used to adding them to the drawing. Now, you can add a dim linear or a dim aligned. Let's see if we can spot the difference between the two. So dim linear, it doesn't matter where we click. It will always do a sort of vertical or horizontal line. And dim aligned will always work at the angle between the 2 points. And regardless of the scale of the drawing, all the dimensions are the same. Why shouldn't we add dimensions to model space? Well, we can do. Let's do it. Now, if we move over to paper space, we can see that, well, for a start, the problem is all of the dimensions are different scales. And they can all be visible from the same viewport. It's easy to chop them off. It's messy, it's inconsistent, and we can't easily reposition the dimensions. There is an advanced feature where you can work with annotative scaling, but for now, don't worry about that. Just know that for consistent results, it's best to work in paper space. I can edit each individual dimension. I can change the arrow size and the number of decimal places if I want to, but a better way of managing dimensions is with the dim start command. Now you can create your own preset dimension styles and you can share them. Now I'm going to change a few colors and some text style, just so you can see what's going on, not because I think that this is sensible or looks very good. I can then select the existing dimensions and change the dimension style to the one that I just created. Then if I make an alteration to this style, all of the dimensions are automatically updated. I can also set this style as the default, and then all future dimensions created will match that style. I often get asked the question, can I make alterations to the geometry once I've added a dimension? Yes and no. Now, dimensions can be created as associative, which means that if you move a viewport, they should theoretically come along. If you make an alteration to the geometry, they should follow suit. Notice I'm using the word should. This isn't super reliable, and if you start editing the geometry and doing something really specific, like moving an entity, or you change the zoom factor quite greatly, things can go wrong very, very quickly. So it's really good practice to make sure that you've created the geometry first, then you've added the viewport, you've set up the layer and the layout exactly as you want, and then add the dimensions as the final step. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications, it really helps me out. It also lets you know when the next lessons are becoming available. Additional resources are available, including PDFs, DWG files, reference documentation, and exclusive videos. Please see the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.